it's really important to understand that exercise doesn't only just improve our physical health, but it has a massive role in improving our mental health too. In recent years, mental health has received unprecedented attention worldwide, and as our understanding of it improves, exercise and physical activity is emerging as a really powerful form of treatment. Unlike diseases that manifest physically, mental health disorders affect the brain and can impact mood, perception, personality, and decision making. Now, historically, more stigma has been associated with mental health issues than with physical illnesses. Fortunately, as we gain understanding, compassion, and transparency, our efforts to address mental health issues are really improving, with mounting scientific evidence that exercise and physical activity can alleviate or help manage symptoms of the two most common mental health disorders. An understanding of how it helps is really valuable. What does the term mental health actually mean? Now, there are different ways of defining the term mental health. Some definitions emphasise positive psychological well-being, whereas others see it as the absence of mental health or mental illness. Mental health is the emotional resilience which allows us to enjoy life and survive pain, disappointment and sadness. It's a positive sense of well-being and an underlying belief in our own and others' dignity and worth. Mental health influences how we think and feel about ourselves and others and how we interpret different events. It affects our capacity to learn, to communicate, and to form, sustain, and end relationships. It also influences our ability to cope with change. Mental health is defined as a state of well-being in which every individual realises his or her own potential, can cope with the normal stresses of day-to-day life, can work productively and fruitfully, and is able to make a contribution to her or his community. So if that's mental health, then what is mental ill health? Now, there are a variety of terms that are used to describe mental ill health. Mental health issues, mental health problems, mental health difficulties, mental illness, or mental distress. But these terms don't really give much information about what a person is really actually experiencing. A mental illness is a condition that affects a person's thinking, emotions, and behaviour, and disrupts a person's ability to work or carry out daily activities and engage in personal relationships. 1 in 4 of us will experience a mental health issue in any given year. The economic cost of mental ill health is estimated at between £74 and £99 billion a year. Anxiety issues are a common type of mental illness and affects between 5 to 16% of adults. Now, anxiety itself is normal. However, when it is excessive to the point where it negatively affects a person's daily life, it becomes a disorder. Signs and symptoms of an anxiety disorder include feelings of worry, tension, jumpiness, breathlessness, dizziness, sweating, a pounding heartbeat, numbness and tingling sensations. Depression is a common but very serious mental illness and affects between 5 to 25% of adults. The word depression is used in many different ways. Everyone can feel sad when bad things happen. However, everyday sadness isn't depression. Major depression or clinical depression lasts for at least 2 weeks and affects a person's behaviour and has physical and psychological effects. It interferes with a person's ability to work and have personal relationships. Different signs and symptoms of depression include an unusually sad mood that just doesn't go away, loss of enjoyment and interest in things that used to be enjoyable, a lack of energy and tiredness, loss of confidence or poor self-esteem, feelings of guilt, suicidal thoughts or suicide attempts, concentration problems, forgetfulness, the inability to make decisions, having difficulty sleeping or sleeping too much, overeating or loss of appetite, aches or pains, headaches, cramps, or digestive problems that just don't ease even with treatment. The great news is that exercise and physical activity relieves both anxiety and depression. Now, there are lots of reasons why exercise positively impacts our mental health. Better physical health, improved mood, more social interactions, and an improved sense of achievement are all side effects of exercise that enhance mental health. As we know, physical activity reduces the risk of cardiovascular disease, type 2 diabetes, and high blood pressure. Depression, anxiety, and other mental ailments are associated with low physical activity, so simply just being more physically active itself reduces the risk of mental illness. Exercise at times can be hard work and tiring. Physical activity increases your resilience towards other forms of physical and emotional stress. Having more physical and emotional strength can help you adapt better when tough situations occur. For some anxiety sufferers, an elevated heart rate, chills, and other stress symptoms that can occur during an anxiety attack are, by themselves, really upsetting. By exercising regularly, people can learn to control their experience of an elevated heart rate or lots of sweating, and these symptoms can over time become less frightening. When you learn a new skill, the sense of achievement makes you feel great and leads to an improvement in self-esteem. Learning how to exercise is a great example of a skill that improves your self-esteem and gives you an overwhelming sense of achievement. Exercise and physical activity often occurs with others or with friend and family encouragement, and this support really boosts your mood. Also, exercising outdoors or spending time enjoying nature can help to lift your mood, and exposure to sunlight can elevate your mood as well. People with depression or anxiety often get stuck in cycles of negative thoughts. Exercise and physical activity helps distract you from these negative thoughts and allows you to enjoy the activity or exercise you're performing and feel great about it afterwards too. Some of the most interesting research on exercise and physical activity is regarding neurobiology and how physical activity directly affects brain chemistry. Physical activity can cause changes in the neurochemicals in the brain that actually affect mood. Traditionally, antidepressant and anti-anxiety medications target these neurochemicals to help return them to normal levels. Exercise and physical activity actually has the same effect as the medication. This is really interesting because it suggests that exercise itself, and not just the rewards and achievement you get from being more active, are important. So exercise and physical activity is just as effective as medications or therapy. And best of all, it's absolutely free. Now, whilst regular physical activity improves both our physical and mental health, ironically, too much exercise or excessive exercise can have the opposite effect. Too much exercise can actually be harmful. Excessive exercise can lead to an addiction that can have an obsessive compulsive dimension, similar to people who suffer with eating disorders. Signs and symptoms of exercise addiction are: exercise becomes the most important activity in a person's life. Exercise is used like a drug to alter mood at the expense of physical health. More and more and more exercise is required. Withdrawal symptoms are experienced if exercise is stopped. Exercise creates conflict in other areas of a person's life. Physiologically, excessive training or overtraining can make you ill, as the body's simply not given enough time to recover. Psychologically, excessive training or overtraining can actually cause symptoms of depression. So don't forget, exercise improves emotional stress, helps you become more familiar with physical stress. Exercise makes you feel good. Exercising with friends and family is great fun. Exercise helps take away any negative thoughts you might have. Exercise is just as good as medication or therapy, but be careful not to overdo it. Don't forget to like and share this video, and see you next time.